controversial fitness topics is either overrated or underrated. And for some extra scientific credibility, this time I'm pulling in exercise scientist Dr. Mike Israetel, who not only has a PhD in sport physiology, but is a competitive bodybuilder himself, and giving us 15 seconds each to explain why we think each item is overrated or underrated, and we'll be covering 3 categories: training, nutrition, and hot fitness topics. Here we go. The first category is training. Cheat reps, also known as ego lifting. So first, it is a journey without an end or a purpose. When you think it through, cheat reps are stupid on almost all counts. You end up having a higher probability of injury, a lower probability of simulating the target muscle, and a very difficult time tracking. I agree that they're overrated. I think for the most part people should use good technique. I would argue that on certain exercises, for example bicep curls, if doing a little bit of cheating and slight momentum allows you to get another rep and then you control the eccentric, that might be an extra controlled eccentric that you wouldn't have gotten if you hadn't used that little bit of momentum. So I think that they can have some value, but I would still say overall mostly overrated. Muscle soreness. I think it can be a good proxy that you did actually hit the target muscle. It can be an indication that the muscle you were trying to hit was in fact stimulated, but I think a lot of people are under the impression that if you didn't get sore, that means you didn't have a good workout or you didn't grow muscle, which is definitely not true, and in that sense I would say it's overrated. I think it's become fashionable lately in the evidence-based community to say that soreness is overrated, or more specifically that soreness doesn't really mean anything, that soreness is only a side effect of novelty. I think that trails about 7 or 8 logical grounds to when you do more volume, more intensity, proper progression, when you come closer to failure, when you generate a lot of metabolites, when you focus on the eccentric, when you train a lot of muscle weights, all of those things tend to cause more soreness, and to me that sounds like a very, very close link causatively to hypertrophy. It's okay if you're not getting sore, but if you're not progressing and you feel like you're understimulating, trying to get sore is probably a good idea. And if you're getting sore, you have 99 problems, but stimulus is not one. Okay, training each muscle only once a week, also known as a bro split. There are better ways to train than training one muscle group once a week, especially if you're talking about small muscle groups. Like if you train your rear delts once a week or your biceps once a week, there's absolutely no way to take that long to recover. You just missed opportunity. Legs or something, or if you have a huge back is fine once a week, but it's also not optimal. I think you should train muscles when they recover, that generally occurs anywhere between every day or 2 times a week. Yeah, I agree, a little bit of devil's advocate. The latest frequency research does show that the bro split is a viable approach, but I would say it's probably not the optimal approach. Don't spend 2 hours per workout 5 days in the gym to do a perfectly fine approach. No one in here in the gym right now wants perfectly fine, they want jacked. It's the same number of days a week you show up and not do a bro split, you get better results. What about training to failure? So I think overrated. I think that the research shows that there's not a huge difference in terms of hypertrophy or strength if you go all the way to failure or if you stop a couple reps shy. I think people think going to failure is super, super important. I think that you have to know what failure feels like, but I do think overall it's overrated and not as important as a lot of bodybuilders think. Agreed, and I would add that most of the people that are saying that failure is super important coming from an egotistical perspective in which they need to emotionally train themselves in the gym, and it's more cathartic and psychological and less to do with what gets optimal results. Nice. Okay. So I'm here editing this video now, and I kind of want to update my answer just a little bit. I still kind of think that training to failure is slightly overrated. However, there's a brand new meta-analysis that did find that on average, training to failure was better for muscle growth than not training to failure. That doesn't mean that every set you do needs to be taken to failure, but I would say it's important. If you don't take any sets to failure, I would say you are leaving gains on the table. If I had to update my answer, training to failure is properly rated to slightly overrated. I'm going to give Mike a quick call and see if he wants to give an update. In our last video, you said you thought training to failure was overrated. I'm just wondering if you'd want to update that. Yes, training to failure is even more overrated. Probably more overrated than ever. Because of that recent meta-regression that came out that said that training to failure is superior for hypertrophy. But it turns out that's really the case. If you train with very low volumes, you're not trying very hard, you're smaller, you're weaker, and you don't train very often. If you train a lot and you're really serious and you're really trying, in that very study they say training to failure has no advantage. Because most people didn't read the study, almost no one read the study, I guess, then it's more overrated than ever. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Okay, the mind-to-muscle connection. You go first. I think that people who prefer to talk about mind-muscle connection sometimes are right in a nuanced way, but often are doing a mind-muscle connection. expense of good technique and a lot of load and the right movements and especially progression. So as long as your technique is good, you have progression, then my muscle connection becomes important, but it's very much a quaternary and tertiary variable. I completely agree. I think it's one of those things that matters is generally good, but I think people overstate how much it actually matters. You can get a good mind-muscle connection and not necessarily have a sufficiently stimulative set if you didn't push that set hard. How do you feel about pumps? Okay, I'm going to say properly weighted. I think pumps are fun and they make training more enjoyable. They probably have some connection to hypertrophy, and I think people think that pumps are good and fun, and they are, so yeah, properly rated. Sure. I just mean underrated, so I think pumps are great, and in the evidence-based space, I think pumps are underrated. Whether or not you got a really good pump is a good gauge of if the target muscle was hit, if it's the right place that they're getting pumped, and also a good gauge of volume. The next category is nutrition. Let's start with dirty bulking. I think dirty bulking can be fun, it can lead to strength gain, but overall it leads to vastly disproportionately more fat gain than it does muscle gain, and for that reason, I think it's overrated. And I have the stretch marks and loose skin to prove it, so I used to do it, I thought it was great, it was a lot of fun, it caused a lot of irreversible side effects, and I wish I would have stayed leaner, and it sure would have gotten me way more often in college. Natural testosterone boosters. Go boost. Yeah, this is being super simple, there's no such thing. If you want to boost your testosterone, take testosterone. I mean, even if there was an over-the-counter herb that could boost testosterone, there's no evidence that it would do anything significant or noticeable for muscle mass, right? Because I'm not too much. Also, boost testosterone, you have to ask by what mechanism is doing that. If your own body detects that a serum testosterone increases occur, usually downregulates its own production. So if you have a combination herb that also keeps your testosterone naturally producing higher, that's a pharmacological multi-compound drug that is not something that grows on a tree. Sorry, 1 gram of protein per pound just a little bit more than enough protein that you need for almost all cases, and because it's just a little more enough, if you eat a relatively balanced diet, it all needs to be to pay high attention to protein quality, and it's a really easy number to remember, and if you live in a great nation like the United States of America, then you have that in grams for yeah, I'll say properly weighted as well. I like 1 gram per pound, with the caveat that it is actually more than you need in almost all instances. When cutting, I would say 1 gram per pound is a good rule. When bulking, you probably only need like 0.7 or 0.8 grams per pound. What about body recomposition? Also known as recomping. I think recomping is underrated because most people in the general population is very weak. attack.